Good. I'm here to talk. I've been asked to come on and talk about the latest updates on zero point energy. And we have some amazing updates, but also another question: how close are we to singularity? It's a good question. Once again, I'm not a physicist, but a futurist. I do study all the latest technologies that are out there. I'm very aware of ChatGPT, AutoGPT, God. I'm very well of the autonomous androids that could potentially come on the market in the next couple of years. And being a futurist, I decided to come on here and give you some ideas about what's to occur here in the next few years. And it's very interesting. Now, singularity, big question. How close are we? Everything's changing fast. I mean, around us, everything's being disruptive. At one point, I was disruptive with world-changing technology, but, zero-point energy is at the core of singularity. Now, we can go anywhere in the universe with a new power source. We can have endless energy, electric cars, phones, needing power sources, homes cooled, heated, electrical grids not needed, costly energy of desalination plants in the desert, Antarctica. But that's only one part of singularity. That's endless energy. And LNR's already proven. Like I said, the Department of Energy a few months ago, they make it about 4 or 5 months ago, said they're putting $10 million into 8 LNR companies. And of course, we also have, a lot of other companies that aren't talking about it, like Brillouin Energy. I do put out the websites in my previous videos. I do put out what their updates are. But the world is decentralizing fast. I mean, cryptocurrency to AI to robotics to quantum computers. And of course, low energy reaction, ZPE, it's working. It's already being manufactured. Technology will grow exponentially, just as AI into AGI. And combined with developments of androids, I mean, this could become the perfect storm for singularity. Now, decentralized energy, self-sustaining modules is a new disruption. One we've already been working on for 2 months now, requiring no outside energy source. I provided the website, the link showing that it's been working. But guess what? They're working on an EV car right now to present to the world in the next couple of months. And with the rise of zero-point energy, and you look at my videos, you can see what's going on with that. Our predictions is technology keeps shrinking. I mean, just a decade ago, even Elon Musk, even Bill Gates, we thought desktop computers for quantum computing would be 50 years. They've already started selling quantum computers for large corporations in big mathematical configurations. We thought AGI 50 years off. We thought zero-point energy 50 years. We thought autonomous human-like androids were 50 years off. And each one of these complements each other. And this is where singularity comes in my opinion. We're entering a stage of exponential growth. And in their development, and singularity is a lot closer than we think. And maybe it's already started. Some will always want to be competitive, though, with capitalism. It's still there. Fiat currencies are still there. But we know humanity will prevail. And one of them is alignment. Alignment's key. That's a big part of what's happening with AGI. If you look up alignment, it's moving fast, but needs to keep up with developing alignment of human values in these emerging technologies. So we find ourselves emerging into space a lot quicker with AGI and zero-point energy. They're at the forefront, of course. If you ask some of the billionaire videos, they'll say if you're in AGI and AI and zero-point energy, you're going to make a lot of money. It's at the forefront of assisting us in enhancing these technologies. Maybe autonomous androids capable of exponentially advancing humanity in the space. Once again, I'm not a physicist, but a futurist. I study all the technologies. I keep way ahead of everything. Whether it's biotechnology with CRISPR-Cas9 or whether it's, artificial general intelligence with aligning of the values. But all of them are accelerating fast. These technologies are. But we just need to keep up with it. And that's what has to happen. Now, once again, you'll see the stuff on zero-point energy that I've talked about. Got so many videos on it, so many links, so many companies, very highly regarded companies. So I'm here to answer any questions you may have on any of these technologies, where they may be going. But the unity of this technology coming together is the real key. I mean, it's the perfect storm. If you want singularity, then you have androids being assisted by AGI with 0-point energy in their bodies, endless energy. And a lot of this is working in the backgrounds beyond us. You know, we think we have everything current in front of us. We don't. We know we don't. But I keep up to date as much as possible. I speak to a lot of companies. So what I'm asking is that everyone take the time to look at my videos on 0-point energy. The car is the latest one. It was just announced. They're working on a demo in the next couple of months on 0-point energy in a car. You think thousands of miles going before it even runs out. Everything in technology is leapfrogging. It's going faster than we expected. And once again, everybody thought 10 years ago, Bill Gates, well, it'll be another 30 years before quantum computing. Well, AGI, that's off by another 30 years. Well, it's in our face now. Just like low energy reaction, 0-point energy. It's there. It's already proven. You can research it and actually look at one unit live for the last, 2 months? No cords, no plugs, no cables. Another company actually saying that in the next 2 months, they're going to have the first EV 0-point energy vehicle. So what they talk to you about and what they know in the background, you don't always get to hear it. I know everybody wants to be candid and transparent. That's the big word. This is amazing world-changing technology. Well, guess what? I've said this before. You can't disrupt a disruption. So I could come on here and go, hey, we're going to disrupt it with 0-point energy. And I'm going, wait a minute. Look at artificial intelligence. That's just as disruptive. Free energy, great. But the artificial intelligence that can be run, we're talking about potential androids building androids. We've seen this in the movies. It's like Star Trek, the tricorder. If you remember that, where they say, beam me up, Scotty, you're talking to space? Well, you're now talking to satellites. You're now talking to people on something that's 100 times more powerful than the tricorder in Star Trek. So our acceleration is absolutely amazing. It's exponential in 3 ways. So we have the perfect quadfecta or trifecta. We have androids excelling to potentially taking in the AGI into their operating system. We have 0-point energy giving them an autonomous ability to operate without the use of outside energy sources, which is absolutely amazing. And then you have quantum computing. We're talking about 0 Kelvin, perhaps, IBM, Intel, Google, way ahead with the qubits. But that puts us into a position of superpositions where now we're actually breaking so many rules that we thought we couldn't break. And when it comes down to science and physics, even the James Webb, I must have said this a couple of years ago. No, there is no Big Bang if 0-point energy is real. Electromagnetic universe, right? Now we're talking about electromagnetic vehicles by the Pentagon. I see it, I read it, I see the culmination of this technology coming together, and it's amazing. It's a little scary, there's no doubt. Just like with alignment, everything was 50 years off 10 years ago. Now it's, a matter of 4 or 5 years. 5 years. Even when they tell you it's 10 years off, it's only a couple of years off. It's moving at a rapid pace. And when you let loose, some people call it the beast, or they call it Heaven's Gate. When you let loose of this potential technologies in 4 different realms, quantum computing, whether it's 0 Kelvin, whether it's D-Wave or IBM's quantum computer, and there's so many different ones, including China's, which is really advanced, and they've already broken encryption. You look at a month and a half ago, announcement by I think it's Alonzo Labs. They actually broke with 2 scientists encryption. Now, is that going to stop? No, it's going to accelerate. And you can't stop a bunch of scientists signing a document saying, well, we need to stop artificial intelligence. Well, if we stop, then China goes. China stops, then India goes. Everybody's on top of it. India's a little slow about it, though. Spoken to a lot of people in India. They're like, oh, what are you talking about? Quantum, wait a minute. Auto GPT? That's just a toy. They aren't toys. They're real. And the culmination of all these coming together, which would be the Android, which would be the AGI, which would be quantum computing and accelerating that to potentially a conscious state as it goes into a superposition, the qubits, one up, one down, up to 50, 100, now 5,000. These things are coming together fast. Am I scared of it? No. Because we have the ability, actually speaking to one of my board members, Gaj Subhuti, amazing guy, he's one of the top specialists in Java. He has created some amazing programs. He goes, Steve, we have the ability to stop it. Just like encryption in quantum computing. They've already got programs that are going to stop people coming in and just terrorizing. So everybody's already building defenses, like alignment for AGI. That's going to potentially happen in the next couple of years. Yes, it's amazing to have these technologies. And yes, we have the ability to put the fail-safes in. But once again, doesn't stop the bad actors from coming in and trying to, rape, pillage, and plunder the world. So I'm excited about what's happening. I'm excited about everything that's going on. Once again, singularity. How close are we to it? Well, once again, as I said before, we were 50 years away a decade ago from almost all of these things. And we know that we thought 0-point energy wouldn't be here for 50 years. But it's actually coming on. It's actually happening. Once again, the car, and just as I did before with 0-point energy, there's going to be a light, an LED light with no cords, no plugs, no cables, been running for 2 months. I put that in my previous videos. You can actually watch it still running on 0-point energy. And they're not the only company. You got Brillo on Energy, you got Clean Planet, you got the 8 companies that the Department of Energy put in on 0-point energy. Now, as far as artificial intelligence, you've already got a competitor out there with OpenAI. They're getting close to what they are. Now, these will compete, but at some point they'll break through. And when they do, there's no keeping up to them because it will be exponential. And I believe exponentiality is happening right now. I'm excited about it because I'm a futurist in technology and I see a lot happening. I study CRISPR's Cas9 gene editing tool a lot. And I realize that in itself is probably a little further off. But if you take the technologies that we have of AGI, you take the technologies of 0-point energy, you take the technologies of these exponential growth of these, and the margins in capitalism will definitely consume it. We thought, once again, 50 years ago, what? Quantum computers, 50 years off. AGI, 50 years off. We thought 0-point energy, 50 years off. Autonomous like androids, 50 years off. That's now. Some people say we're already into singularity. Well, I don't think so. We will be in a couple of years, and this rapid growth, this exponential pace that we're at is not scary to me. It's what we've always been, human-like instinct. And first of all, if we had all the answers with no questions, we wouldn't be alive because that's what we are. We question everything. We're sentient beings. If we had no questions, what's the reason for living? We'd have all the answers. It makes a lot of sense to me. So studying these technologies, whether it's quantum computing, whether it's AGI, whether it's CRISPR's Cas9 biology, it will all come together once again and culminate into an acceleration because they all complement each other. They all see that once these come together, including androids, they automatically start improving each other dramatically, exponentially. And then I don't care what these other futurists are saying, it's happening. I was on 0-point energy starting in 2010. I said, yeah, it's going to take some time. Boom. It hit in 2021. And people still question it. They still pull that cemented picture out of their back pocket and they go like, well, this is the way it was and it can't be that. How is it going to fly in the face of thermodynamics? Well, the same with AutoGPT, which I've been working on. Just achieved my certificates for AI and AI machine learning, which I'm happy to say. And I see the in-depth part of it. And they even stayed in there. And a lot of that's old stuff, by the way. Most of the stuff you get out there, it's already like 8 months, year, 2 years old. We're already way beyond that. So what you're getting is just what was said. The real plays on. The movie plays on. And we can see these developments coming together into a trifecta, a quadfecta of developments. And you can't stop that. So what do? Well, we also know that the Pentagon is working on with electromagnetism. Been working on it a while. Northrop Grumman, by the way. Maybe I shouldn't say this, I'm under NDA. But they just signed a major contract with a low-energy nuclear reaction company. How's that for validation? So zero-point energy is here. It's taking the particles of space, whether it's an electron, anti-electron, and then that disqualifies the Big Bang. If you look back 4 or 5 videos a couple of months ago, I disqualified the Big Bang because of zero-point energy. Doesn't make me smart, just makes me recognize what's going out there. I'm aware of what's happening today, and I like what's happening. And I want to convey that to you as I've been asked by some people to come out here and talk about singularity. Steve, what do you think it's at? Steve, what do you think about zero-point energy in the near future? Well, zero-point energy has been exposed by me for the last 50 videos since, middle of last year. And singularity is something that I've been thinking a lot about lately. And as I've watched things grow, the only thing we have things going on is that we accelerate into the human through humans, because that's what we are. We're only human through humans, or we have ego dictators destroy the world before then. Because we know the world's been destroyed, 5 times before, but it's not in this sense of development that we're in currently. Excuse me, I'll straighten myself out here. So if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. Listen, if anything, follow my videos. I'm going to start coming more, involved in what's going on with zero-point energy, with androids, with, anything that's autonomous, because that's what's going to be. Desalination plants, anything that can operate on its own without outside energy sources. AGI, it's a big, learn of me right now because I've been studying it a lot and been going into machine learning, and it's very interesting. It makes me a little more complex in my thinking, which, philosophically, that's a good thing. And then, of course, CRISPR-Cas9, one of my golden studies, the gene editing tool that has actually launched dramatically, and the ability to actually potentially reverse aging. If not, make it a stalemate. Hey, we're good here. This is where we can be. So a lot of technologies, a lot of experiences that are going on out there, but the web has stretched itself. Excuse me. I'm getting calls I don't want to get. Share, subscribe more, comment, flip. I'm sorry, sometimes I lose the sound on this thing because someone chimes in. Let's see if I can do this here. Ranking. Where is sound at? Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now? Okay, you're back. Okay, great. Yeah, I just got a new phone. I was out in Europe, and when I got back here, I was staying in Orlando for about a month to try to figure out where to buy a place here in Tampa. And believe it or not, besides prices going up twice as much, holy crap, the townhome I had before was $2,700 a month. I come back, well, it's $5,000 a month. I'm like, why? But I think that's coming down now. So what may I ask is zero-point energy? Good question. Zero-point energy is in the particles of the vacuum of space. We don't see them. They're theoretical. And if you take a certain element, let's say palladium, deuterium in a mixture in a formula with hydrogen. It causes an effect in space around you, not the vacuum of space and outer space. This is everything that's around us in space. And by using those elements, they create a reaction to the particles that are around them, which is an electron reaction. And that's called a cluster, a cloud of electrons. And then what's utilized in that cloud of electrons by those certain metals, that causes those electrons to be funneled through a cathode, and through that cathode, the result end is electricity. And that's it. Brillouin Energy calls it electron capture. The Navy calls it low energy nuclear reaction. But it's really I would say the destruction of an anti-electron and a positron by these elements that causes around them for the particles to create an electron that is funneled through a cathode into electricity. And it's actually working right now, live with one company. And another company, I use Brillouin because everybody keeps telling me it's got a battery in it, the one that's live. I think you go to ECAT Live, you will see the actual live demonstration for almost 2 months now. And they actually put a Geiger meter in there for radiation, and there was no radiation. Then they put an EMF detector, electromagnetic frequency, just to see if there was a battery in there. Well, of course, beyond 10 to 12 days, there's no 40-gram battery with the size that they show would actually have energy left in it. That's already been blown out the door. So we're at that point on 0-point energy. It's there. If you look up LNR, is it proven? Yes. Why else would the Department of Energy put $10 million into 8 companies, including universities and everyone else? So that's my opinion. Any other questions? I'm more than happy to answer them with anything else that's going on in the world when it comes down to technology, even biotechnology. More than happy to answer that. You know, we're enhancing ourselves. We got a lot of supplements out there that are reinforcing our cellular structure, our mitochondria. Even the upper epidermals of our skin are finally seeing collagen coming back. We're seeing that fulfilling the wrinkles and the tone and the body and so much. I can't speak. Okay, I didn't see that. How do we invest? Well, I don't know of any companies you can invest into 0-point energy. I mean, we are a private equity fund, but we only take accredited investors, and you can go to newfireenergy.com. And if you're accredited, go there, call the number. We've got AI answering the phone for us, which is pretty cool. Humans were made to be weak. Drew North, you're absolutely right. We are weak, feeble creatures in mind, body, and spirit. But what we do, Drew, is we extend our reach. In physics, you have the theory, through the discovery, through the concept, through the modeling, through the extension of from lab to commercialization, and in that extended reach is not us. We are only stronger by how we are able to use our mind to extend our reach further than what we are. I don't want to be a regress aging. I would like to advance our living. Yeah, we actually, I just went out and, I'm sad to say I went out and bought Reversitrol, NMN, D3, D4, Polvic. Bought a lot of those things today. And they actually do enhance you. I mean, there's no doubt I went from not taking it about a year ago to start taking all of these anti-aging or vitamin deficient nutritions within your body. And I can tell you, if I'm my age right now, I will be completely open with you. If you ask how old I am, no filter. Look at no filter. Here's the wrinkles. No filter. I'm 56 years old. And that's what we're doing. We're extending our life further than what we are. And we can do this. We can do this. So take those supplements. Make sure you do some research on it. Make sure you understand what you're taking. It really will make a difference. But we are constantly evolving at a rapid pace, faster than we ever did before. And we're using everything around us to extend ourselves. And as Drew said, we're not strong and weak, or strong and intelligent inherently. We had to have many centuries of built-up knowledge to give us this extra boost that we needed when we're born to learn what we've already known. And that's amazing. So it's exciting stuff. But listen, I'll keep going. Click like, click follow. Just keep me on here. I haven't been on in a while. And, I'm excited about being on right now. But I need to know, I'm not out cheerleading, by the way. I did a lot of that over in Portugal and Moldova. And seemed to get somewhere around, 25,000 people when I was cheerleading on the cliffs of Portugal. Yeah, we got 0 Point Energy coming on March the 13th. I'm all excited about it. So it's happening. But I'm a study of a lot of technologies. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions anybody has. This is something big for us. A lot of people are just quick to judge anymore because they flip through that TikTok. Oh, look at that's not interesting. Oh, look at that's not interesting. Wait a minute. If it doesn't entertain me. And technology entertains me. Biotechnology entertains me. 0 Point Energy. Changing of the world at this rapid pace. All of you need to be aware. Not saying you're not, but be aware. Be cognizant of what's happening out there. Say, energy is available. Are your batteries being pushed down our throats? Why are your batteries? What batteries? There's no batteries in my thinking. So we'll move past that. So anyways, I'll go start again. Everything is taking 50 years to think 10 years ago. Even, Bill Gates said, well, it's going to be another 30 years before we have quantum computing. Well, here we are now. A corporation actually sells to large corporations, large mathematical equations, quantum computers, and you can buy them. Wow, right? And tabletop quantum computers are in years to come. AGI, a couple years down the road. Yeah, why? Because the machines are learning at a rapid pace. Yes, pattern technology makes it happen fast. And I think in those patterns, we may find ourselves seeing something that looks like it's consciousness, AGI, but what it's doing is it's collectively taking the knowledge, it's recognizing it, it's going into deeper learning, deeper layers of understanding. But yeah, they're always worried about, well, hey, if there's a donut in the way and I tell this artificial intelligent robot that I need to get to that donut no matter what, and humanity's in the way, they're going to kill humanity for that Dunkin' Donuts donut, which is kind of funny. So, once again, 0 Point Energy. There's a car right now being worked on for a demo in the next 2 months. That demo is very important because 0 Point Energy in a car that can go thousands of miles that no longer needs the lithium battery, perhaps needs the lithium battery to keep it charged so you don't have to recharge it. You can actually go to Rossi LiveCat and start reading about it. RossiLiveCat.com. That's one company that is actually working on the demo. They're the ones that released the light, LED light that's running for 2 months, almost 2 months now, on its own without any outside energy source. Brillouan, another company, came out, major freaking joint venture with a lot of the Silicon Valley alternative energy guys. They're ready to put forward tens of thousands square foot to make original equipment manufacturing of this product. So a lot's being done in the background. I know I do a lot of deep searching with information. And if you know, AGI, by the way, is only up to September 2021. I've already tried to get in bed with that a few times and be somebody else. And yeah, hopefully there's more that are more current with the event. I think there is one that just came out last month that's more current with what's going on with in artificial intelligence to give you a better, more well-defined, more real-time process of the information. But singularity is a lot closer than we think. Everybody keeps thinking, oh, don't worry, it's way off. No, things are culminating. We're talking about, 0 Kelvin or quantum computing, which is already being sold at this point and will be down to the desktop within a matter of years. We're talking about AGI just a couple of years away. It's not that far. We're talking robotics accelerating, but they all complement each other. Once again, one will help the other. And if you get AGI that's that accelerated, it's going to start doing computations to accelerate the versatility, the ability of androids and their architecture in order to increase their abilities. And that goes with everything else that we're doing. Think about the technology just the other day. Well, actually, you know what? They did a test, and they found out that the doctors against AGI lost in a in a prescription of what was wrong with the actual patient. So I might be off a little bit on that and off on some of these, but this is really intriguing information. So once again, 0-point energy is here. It's low energy nuclear reaction, it used to be called, but it's really 0-point energy. It does change the way the physics, astronomy, science is, and that coupled with what's going on with AGI giving autonomous vehicles that can last for thousands of miles, because there's a demo coming out in 2 months of like a vehicle that'll keep going and keep being charged by 0-point energy. And of course, all the other aspects of technology. It really is intriguing. I'm excited. If anybody's got any questions, I would love to, jump on that. But, once again, please follow me on the 0-point energy. I'm at the cusp of it. I run a private equity fund. We invest in the top companies. We know what's going on, more than 99% of the people out there, and we see what's happening. And that, coupled with AGI, coupled with an autonomous android, potentially into quantum computing from a qubit superposition. I mean, we're talking about way advanced stuff just accelerating exponentially in the next couple of years. Some might say it's fascinating and amazing, and others might just duck and hide in their closet and go, I'm scared to hell about this. What's going to happen? But we're with alignment. Alignment's key here. And the values of human beings are being researched, it has been for a while, of what happens when AGI comes into play. It makes a difference because the values of humans have to always be superior. We can't allow something that says, once again, I need to get to that donut because you tell me I need to, but I need to kill humanity to get to that donut. So that has to be, has to be modified, and we have to be in alignment with the values of human beings as AGI comes closer to what we're doing. And singularity, once you get to that point, everything is exponential. It gets faster. It gets better. And I'm really excited about it. Does anybody have any questions on technology? Anything they'd like to discuss that I might be able to elaborate on? Once again, I've already done my AI classes. I got all my certification right now into machine learning. I'm excited about that. Deep dive into artificial intelligence. Let's see, superbots that don't need a recharge. Well, that would be super androids. What does this tech drop? Okay, when does this tech drop? Okay, first of all, there is tech on 0-point energy. You can actually see it live right now. I'm expected to go, it's already being manufactured. But the other question was, we don't need a recharge on your electric vehicle if you have 0-point energy in it. It will just keep going and going. And that's just in a couple of months. And I'm going to announce the date once I get privy to that information, just like I did with the 0-point energy LED light. No cables, no plugs, no batteries. It's already all been shown that it's none of that's happening with it except it's by itself on 0-point energy. So the good thing is once things become autonomous, and that's why I'm talking about the trifecta of everything coming together, all of these technologies, androids, 0-point energy. Let's talk about, like, you watch the movies. They've got this thing in their heart that runs the whole 0-point energy. It can go on forever and keep recharging itself. Then you've got AGI, the brain, artificial general intelligence up here. And then you got the ability of that to do quantum computing at an exponential rate. And the ability to actually rebuild itself and give that autonomy to that android. This is real stuff. I know, I see it. I'm privy to a lot of information most people don't know about it. Big deal, who cares? But I can at least express to you what I know and what's happening out there. And once again, I would love to say this is disruptive information. But how can you disrupt disruption? You need a stable platform to disrupt disruption. So it's happening all around us. Just let's be collective about it. Let's understand it. Do me a favor. Click like, click follow, know what's going on with 0-point energy. Look at my previous videos. This is really cool shit. Can I say that on there? TikTok? Okay, this is really cool stuff. And I'm really excited about it. And I see a lot what's going on in the world. And I know everybody in TikTok has something disruptive coming out. I heard about the disruptive Energizer bunny rabbit. He can now go and clap 400 times instead of 200. I've heard about, a lot of the things that are out there really aren't so disruptive, but everybody's trying to capture everybody's attention. That's why I decided to do a live video without the explosive preview video. I'm here to be as real as I possibly can. I've given links, I've given access. Any of this technology to robots that don't need, okay, we already know that. Oh, wait a second, I have a question about the Amigo battery power. Amigo battery power. Waldo, what's an Amigo battery power? That's not that solar thing that breaks down after a month, is it? Healing technology. I can definitely go into healing technology. But, yeah, Waldo, tell me about that. What about the med bay? Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. Waldo Inventions. I have questions about the Amigo battery power. Okay, give me a little more information on the Amigo. Is that the Amigo, like the friend of battery power? Yeah, all the battery solar ones they get out there are nice, but give them a few months and they're breaking down. I ordered 2 of them. One didn't work when I got it. Had to return it. The other one, I think like 3 months out. Constantly waiting for the sun to come out. It's dark at night. It's not readily accessible to charge or to have it pre-charged for that long of a time. What about healing technologies? Any news on medical tech that is revolutionary? Okay, the medical tech that's revolutionary is dealing on an intravenous cellular level. Very little do we know. 99% of the topical ointments do not penetrate the cellular integrity, and especially in the upper epidermal, let alone the lower epidermal of the skin. That's something that's just a falsity. It's more of a protective cover. It does actually, it doesn't help give nutrients to the cellular part of the topical of the skin. You can put all the oils and lotions you want on there. They're not going to penetrate the cellular integrity of the skin. But they can at least coat it, give it a refinement, and give it more of a pleasant bed to lay in. And that's what you're doing. You're putting over the best pillow top cover you can give them, and that's what happens. Now, as far as, internal-wise, yes, NMN, I know a lot of people have things bad about it, but it does raise the NAD level. I do agree. I started taking that with resveratrol a month ago, whether one works or the other. You got to have supplements that help your body. And if you want to help repair your skin, yeah, collagen does help. But a lot of this, once again, has to be absorbed in more of a natural way. You're better off going out and buying the best foods you can. Buy the greens. Take the celery, the onions, the cucumbers. If anything, chop it up, but not too much. You want to keep it with the strings as best as possible. Have that in there and drink that in the morning. You can make that happen. It will help you with your nutrients, and you will be doing a lot better off than going out and buying 100 bottles of every supplement that's out there. So what's going to happen with this demo in the next few months? You're talking about a demo of an electric vehicle that's going to be assisted by a zero-point energy device that's going to charge the battery while it's driving. The objective is, first, to break the world's record of an EV, and secondly, to go thousands of miles without worrying about charging it up again. Because the EV device itself, or actually the zero-point energy device itself, is significant. It really does make a difference. So, I see here, food and medicine. Yeah, I see a lot of that stuff. Medicine and food. I ordered 10K LCPs at 100 watts. Awesome. Yeah, a lot of people have pre-ordered those zero-point energy devices. I'm very ill, that's why I asked. Yes, the acceleration, if you want to look at stem cells, mesenchymal stem cells, you want to look at stem cell technology if you're very ill in a lot of cases, and it has to do with the organs in your body. I'm not a doctor, but I understand it very well. I was around Geron Corporation back in 2008, 2009, when we invested $30 million into Geron because Dr. Kierstead out of California actually healed a girl's spinal cord. And it was one of the biggest things back then for stem cells. It was amazing. Everybody was just excited because, Dr. Kierstead, wow. And it became Life Extension, I think it's Life Extension Corporation. If you look at them, they're still out there, and they're utilizing all different types of technologies. But if you're talking about, ailments that persist with the body, we know that the heart, we know that the lungs, we know that once you use your own stem cells, they can proliferate, with the synthesis of the proteins and allowing that to give you a second chance because it rehabilitates those parts of the ailment that you have. And we know it's out there. Stem cells are amazing. I mean, they're basically a precursor to what your body does to heal itself. If that helps you out, I hope it does. Well, go here. Only I can say is bay oil. I don't know what bay oil is. So listen, once again, follow me, click like. I'll come back on again. Watch my previous videos. It's really important because 0-point energy is the trifecta of what's going to change the world when we hit singularity. You're going to learn a lot from me. Once again, I'm a futurist. I do a lot of studying daily to know what's happening. As a consultant, I get tapped for that. And I also run a private equity fund. We invest into 0-point energy type companies, kind of like the Department of Energy putting up $10 million into 8 companies on low energy reaction, which is 0-point energy, no matter how you compute it. It really will make a difference in our world, and this culmination of all these technologies coming together. So once again, follow me, click like. You're going to see me again. I know I haven't been on in a while. I love the 1 million views, the 2 million, 3 million. I don't know how many people have followed me, but I'm just here gratuitously. I'm not sitting here advertising a wallet or whether or not you should go to some health spa or whether or not you should buy some, solar battery it's just amazing how TikTok has 1 million sponsors out there. I'm here to help you, give you information. This is educational advisement only. And if I can put a video out in reference to these discussions, I will do that. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate you being on here. Once again, my battery goes low. I'm in Tampa, Florida. Been here for about a month and looking to jet out to Poland on an LENR conference. And I'll tap you guys then. But you guys are awesome. Thank you for your attention. And I really hope we can spread the word and make a difference. Follow me, watch my videos. I'm going to figure out how to let you go here. Thank you so much.